Tone's one of those things that kind of is to each his own, right? You don't. I've heard plenty of guys get amazing sounds out of a Fender amp, Hendrix sounds out of a Fender amp, out of Marshalls, whatever. A lot of it really has to do with your hands. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really where most of the sound is coming from. Now, to get a traditional Hendrix sound, a Strat helps a lot. I mean, that's what he used, I would say 80% of the time. Later on in the career, you know, Gibson started to come in, the Flying V's. I've seen him with Les Pauls. It's rare, but, you know, he started experimenting in the later years. 90%, let's say 90% was Strat. So that'll help get you there. I mean, just with the neck alone, that middle sound, that second one, always tweaking on the pickup selector, tones, volume knob. He was all over the place with that kind of stuff. So, big part of the sound. This is kind of Marshall-y. A Marshall will work. Like I said, I used to have, you know, you don't have to have a Marshall. A lot of people would say a Plexi. Oftentimes, Plexi's kind of a misnomer because, you know, a lot of times artists would, you know, have their Marshall, but they'd have their own personal modifications done to it. I've had the advantage of hearing tons of Plexis, and I don't think any of them sounded the same. So, that being said, just a stock Marshall 50 watt, you know, you know, whatever, JCM 800 all the way up to the new stuff, be great. Sound awesome. You get kicked out of clubs if you don't have a master volume, but that'll work. I had a $100 crate, Vintage Club 20, that's all tube. Loved the thing. Played a million gigs with it. Got great Hendrix tones with that and a full tone, full drive pedal. Sounds amazing. So that can work too. Now, you can go and just go stock Hendrix and go Jim Dunlop. They make signature series of everything you'll need. Fuzz, they got wahs, they got the Univibes, they have the octave pedals, everything, you know. Hendrix signature series. So you can always go there if you don't want to pay boutique prices. Great stuff too. For my own board, in this particular segment that we did in these videos, I used a lot of times this Iridium Fuzz, which is Exact Tone Solutions. My favorite fuzz I've ever had. And it worked great. I mean, I really, really can't speak highly enough about it. I don't max things out, so I like to be able to have a little bit of room, so I don't ever crank the fuzz all the way. I'll set it back a little bit, and then if I need more, I'll kick on a boost. And I have this RC booster. So here's my tone without it, with the fuzz. And then if I kick on the RC booster, I get a little more of the sustain. And that works great. Now, another trick with the Hendrix Clean stuff, a lot of the Hendrix Cleans were fuzz with the volume on the guitar backed off. So check this out. If we back off our, get on that neck pickup, back off our volume. So for hitting an E chord, we back off the volume to say like 7 or 8. Back it off a little bit more. Amazing tones, and then all you have to do to get the gain, rather than go and tap dance on a bunch of pedals, is just roll up your guitar volume. So you can try that. It works great for me. I do it all the time. I'll run both of these boosts. This is an RC booster. It's Exotic Effects, and this is a divided by 13 lift pedal. They're both boost pedals. Sometimes I'll use them both at the same time, so I'll get that bass tone, and maybe I want just a little bit more. And I'll I'll use that to get more of a natural overdrive sound. That works great too if you don't have a master volume on your amp and you have to be at a low volume. You can use like the Exotic to get you more of what that broken up sound would be with your amp turned up, and then another boost to get you into the overdrive territory. Works amazing. So check that out. The other pedal I have over here is a Vimaram that I used. I think I used that on the Manic track, and it's kind of, you know, tube screamer-ish, but it's just a great smooth overdrive, a little bit more flexible than a tube driver would be, or a tube driver, a tube screamer would be, but still you get a tube screamer great. They just work really good with the neck pickups, those, whether it be at a tube screamer or one of these. Right? If you're a Stevie Ray fan, big TS9 user, I think that was the model, but tube screamer user. So check that out. And then the only other thing I use is a Strymon El Capistan delay, and that simulates a tape echo. So they used Echoplexes back in the day that actually had a piece of tape that went around. Full Tone still makes one. Sounds amazing, but they're not affordable. So my next in line option is the Strymon. I love Strymon effects. They're amazing, really rock solid, awesome effects. That being said, there's lots of companies that make stellar delay pedals, so just go for it. My buddy Tim Pierce has everything, and I go over there and I watch him do sessions, and he uses a Line 6 Echo Park probably 80% of the time, and that's a $100 pedal, and it sounds fantastic. So check that out as well. That really does it for what we used on this particular series. Another huge thing is a wah that you'll find, and we'll do that in the next one. You know, that's all the... all that stuff is done with a wah. I think he used a Vox, but Dunlop, Full Tone. Mine's a Full Tone Clyde wah. Love that. My favorite's RMC wahs. They're amazing. A little more pricey, but sound incredible. So that's a good option. And then a Univibe is the only other effect that you really hear a lot with Hendrix that we didn't get into, and that kind of sounds like this. Let me get it without the fuzz here. And that, again, is a Strymon pedal called a Mobius, but there's lots of great. Voodoo Labs makes a great one. Full Tone makes a great Univibe. Dunlop makes a awesome one too. Smaller footprint too. Really, really nice size pedal, and they're inexpensive. So check that out as well, and that'll get you there. And that's, you know, my board's a little bit more than that, but I like to be able to do a lot of things. So that's the reason why my board is big. I did not use that many pedals during this series though. And plus I'm a junkie, so don't look at my board and think you need this many pedals, because you don't. All right, so that's pretty much it for the equipment side of things.